Hi, I'm Dorothy Godin, broker 3 Max Crown Realty, and welcome to Thursday Thoughts. You all know I love to do stats. I think it's important to look at the trends and what's been happening. We can never predict what's going to happen tomorrow, but by looking at the trends of this year and comparing them to last year and the years before, we definitely can have a little more of an educated guess of what is going to be happening. So, as you know, I do stats for in the city of Greater Sudbury and outside of the Greater Sudbury. I mostly here focus within the city. Within the city includes the Valley, Nickel Center, so Garson, Skeed, Lively, Azilda, Dowling. Out of town would be, the island, St. Charles, French River, that like very outside of the city of Greater Sudbury. And so far, if you take the whole city, we're still statistically in a seller's market. We have 2 months of inventory. So months of inventory is going up, which is great. It means that we're getting more listings. The market is definitely a little bit slower. And on average right now, the sales we are seeing 23 days on the market. So the important thing to remember is when I give you those stats, I'm giving you the general averages of the city of the whole. When you're putting your house in the market, and I guarantee you there are many of you who are on the market right now who are a little bit confused because I'm saying it's still a seller's market, but yet your house is not getting the activity or the offers that you thought you would get. And it's very important when you're working with your realtor to look at the stats. It's great to look at the stats as a whole. That's what I generally do. But when you're working with a specific property, you have to sit and do a specific CMA market analysis that is geared to that property, that location, and that price range because everything is not the same across the board. I give you the average for the city, but when you are ready to be on the market, and if you are on the market now and you're not getting the activity that you wish you were getting, you need to be more in depth with your research and the stats. So, as I say, in the city of right now as a whole, we have 2 months of inventory, and on average, days on the market is 23 days. But if you look at the bulk of our market right now that is selling is under the 600,000. So approximately 90% of all our sales in the last month have been all under the $600,000 range. If you look at the stats for 600,000 and over, you'll see that the average days on the market pushes up to 34 days, and they have 4.4 months of inventory, which is pushes us more into a balanced market. And then if you go even more specific and look at the market of 900 and over, that specific market is almost on the verge of a buyer's market. They have 6.8 months of inventory. And we generally say anything over 6 is in a buyer's market. And certainly, anybody who's on the market and you're listed 900 and over, you're feeling that. You're feeling that, this is definitely not a seller's market. It maybe is a balanced market, but really, I think we're pushing more into a buyer's market in that 900 and over. The average days on the market this month for that price range was 45 days. So you can see that as your listing price goes up, it's taking longer to sell. And I think when you look at the actives and you see listings, especially over the 900 mark, that they've been on the market for, 100 days and 107 days and 90 days, which is well over the average days on the market for all the sales. Those people need to have a really good look at their market research. And it's not an issue. Like when you get on the market, it's very, very difficult, and I've always said this, very difficult to pick a list price. But once you're on the market tells you where you shouldn't be. It never tells you where you should be, but certainly if you're on the market, and as you know, I do Thursday updates for all my sellers. We look at how many realtors have looked at the house, how many people in the public system have looked at the house. Here's how many showings we had. And if you have really great numbers, but no showings, that's a market telling you that clearly your price is not aligned to the market. And as you get in the upper range, that 900 and over, of course, that market is a little bit smaller. It's going to take a little bit longer. But you have to be realistic and look at those numbers and know that you are not the same as a house that's listed 550. they're totally different markets. So do keep that in mind when you're on the market or when you're considering being on the market, that every price range and every location has specific stats that you should be looking at. It's great to look at the city as a whole. I do that every week, but also when you're working with a specific client, you need to look at their property specifically. So there's a lot more detail going in, and you really need to look at those numbers and decide, well, how can I be most competitive in this market? I know the over 600 market right now is very frustrated. But look at those numbers. There is a market for you. You just have to be realistic with your price and know your numbers. I hope you find this helpful. Sorry. As always, you can reach me at Dorothy Godin at Remax Crown or 705 561 2360. Have a great week.